Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're talking Cardano, specifically ADA. We're going to be jumping into the technical analysis on Cardano's ADA, taking a look at what's been going on most recently, what we think is likely to happen next, and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out, guys. Link is in the description down below. Right, let's go ahead and jump into this one. So Cardano's ADA paired up with USDT. This chart here is using the BitGet spot exchange as the data source, and this is a 1 hour time frame. This also has on it the Smart Money Concepts by 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗓 indicator, which is an indication of basically showing you when big money is coming in and out of the space. Okay, and you can basically take a look at market structure and what you'd expect to happen based on these circumstances and these developments within the psychology of people playing with Cardano ADA, buying and selling and all that kind of good stuff. So as we kind of jump into this, we can see I've now highlighted 3 fair value gaps in yellow. These 3 fair value gaps have now been filled out and can be kind of ticked off, right, essentially. Now, let's jump on over into BitGet to just kind of talk about that for a moment. Fair value gaps are created from imbalances in the order books, right? So specifically, if we start taking a look at these ones right here, which I will go ahead and actually go ahead and just give ourselves a yellow border to indicate that they have been filled, right? We can see that when a large buy order comes in, right, let's just take this bottom one down here, a large buy order comes into the market and there isn't enough sellers, price has to go from the low side to the high side, as in price wants to try to find the sellers, right? So if you put a buy order down here on the low side at 26.1489 and there's no one willing to sell ADA at that particular price to you, then price is going to go to where the sellers are. And in this particular case, it was 26.4800. That meant that this gap was created, a gap where there was basically no liquidity, right? And liquidity is very important for making things easy to buy and sell, right? Without liquidity or a highly liquid market, essentially you'll find the prices spiking up and down all over the place, right? So we have to appreciate that liquidity is very important for basically making it very easy to buy and to sell. So when these fair value gaps are created, it's basically highlighting a place in the price action where liquidity simply didn't exist for the amount of buy orders that were there. And so as such, price wants to kind of naturally go back down and fill out those fair value gaps, put liquidity where liquidity was not. This is just something that is noticeable. It's not like it's a hard and fast rule, something that has to happen, but it's something that happens more often than not. Essentially, these fair value gaps that get left behind end up getting filled at some point in the future. And so you can see that we have quite a few fair value gaps here now highlighted with yellow borders, where price action has gone back and filled out those gaps. In fact, I can see a few more that I didn't even mark up that have also been filled out. So for example, we have this one right over here. This one was also filled, right? So we can start seeing that, when these gaps are left behind, your expectations are that you're going to move up into this gap or move down into these gaps, right? And so we filled out most recently these couple of gaps just here. In fact, the most recent one at 26.1489 and 26.4800. This one was actually just a wick down, grab that, put liquidity there, then move on up, right? And we can see it in there. It's created from the imbalances of the order books essentially, and basically just put in liquidity where liquidity was not and all that stuff. I did a whole course on smart money concepts. It's down below or linked below at the Cheeky School, but there is a new development over the weekend. So if you're not in the Discord server, you're going to want to jump down into that Discord server. We've got some big announcements this weekend on things that are going on, new platforms, new course material, or at least new ways of accessing course material, new ways of accessing data, such as wallet counts and all that kind of stuff. So if you're not in the Discord, you're going to miss out on some pretty interesting things over the weekend. So do jump down there and check it out. Some really cool stuff happening. So I guess on that note, it's probably worth noting also in the description below is a link, an affiliate link to BitGet. So if you haven't already kind of signed up to BitGet and you're looking for a new exchange, why not check it out? Using the affiliate link in the description below, you will be eligible for up to $8,000 worth of rewards for signing up, depending on the amount you deposit and trade and so forth, and various different tasks. If you do use that affiliate link in the description below, not only will you be able to use such a great platform like BitGet, but have great rewards, you'll also be able to take part in the weekly trading competitions that we hold down in our Discord server. For the person who has the best ROI percentage on their portfolio within a 1 week period, you'll win 100 USDT. This is something that 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗏 are doing in Discord. It's not affiliated with 𝗕𝗃𝗫. It's something that we're funding. It's not affiliated with YouTube or anything like that. It is just something that we thought would be great, fun, and engaging for the community who are using 𝗕𝗃𝗫. So if that sounds of interest to you, why not check it out? Affiliate link for 𝗕𝗃𝗫 is in the description below. Discord link is in the description below. Go check them out. I don't think you'll regret it. Let's move down into the charts, right? So as we can see, we filled out those fair value gaps, right? And the next ones are slightly lower. They're coming down here at 25.0045 to 25.3333, and then one slightly deeper than that at 24,033. So 24,000. That would be nice, wouldn't it? 24.3386 and 24.7620. So you can see that slightly down deeper in the price chart there. Now, obviously, I've been saying for a while, my expectations are that we come down into a new lower low. Once that is complete, my expectations are that we move up quite significantly. Okay, but for now, my expectations are there might be a few relief rallies, but our local highs are probably going to be there to sit tight and locked in for a little while. Okay, let me show you what that means on our daily time frame, right? So it's not a perfect count. I don't like it being the way that it is, but for now we can see that we had this this new lower low just over here, right? And we're looking at this as a potential fourth wave movement. So my expectations are that we do a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down a bit more into that fifth wave movement. Now I don't like this count. I don't like it because the wave 1 is a little bit off. It has to have an extension in it for this to be valid, and I don't really like that idea so much. But you can see down here at the moment it'll be talking 17.98 to 20.37. That's going to be the fifth wave expectations. Now you can have these small kind of rallies to the upside inside here. So for example, we'll have a wave 1, we'll come up for a wave 2, go down into a wave 3, we'll go up into a wave 4, then we'll come down into the fifth wave, right? So that's kind of what we're expecting. Now when I talk about this over here, the reason that I don't like it is we'd kind of have to have this like that, and I don't think that's a good way of looking at it. So although this is a possibility, it's not one that I think is likely to occur. I think instead we've probably got ourselves a WXY-XZ triple pattern. So you know, we'll follow a very similar pattern, but I don't think it's going to be exactly that. So it'd be an easy thing for a lot of people to kind of miss out on, but more WXY-XZ, I think. I'm still going to leave the target down here for now, and that may change ever so slightly as patterns and structures start to change and morph a little bit. But for now, we'll leave it like this, and we'll still see that there's a new lower low due for ADA. Now, obviously, you might be thinking, well, what's the catalyst for that? I'm just going to say Celsius is probably going to be the catalyst for that, right? Celsius is looking to gear up to sell their assets on the 1st of July. Most altcoins that they're holding and converting that into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you'll see Bitcoin and Ethereum holding well, maybe even getting a bit of a push to the upside. But for the most part, you'll find that altcoins will be bleeding out. Things like Cardano's ADA and Matic and so forth, right? So just keep an eye on that. Essentially, that's kind of what I think is going to push this one down a little bit deeper. You can already see the psychology behind this move anyway, from the fact that people are, you know, very concerned over, you know, the SEC and calling it a security and all that kind of stuff of which I think is absolutely pointless and just noise. We know it's not, and yet, you know, here we are, the 𝗕𝗃𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗑 overstretching as per usual. But for the most part, those are my expectations where we have that move to the downside. Now on our smaller time frame, when we start reviewing kind of the substructures of things inside this most recent move, it's not looking overly brilliant for a kind of impulsive move to the downside. Instead, it's probably going to start looking more like zigzag patterns. Here you can see that we have completed an A, B, and C structure right inside its expectations, and then we're going to be looking for a move to the upside. So here we'll be looking for some kind of move more towards probably 28 cent, and of course you've got the EMAs to consider as well at 28.2 being the 200 EMA. That's probably going to be an area of interest personally. Again, we'll keep a close eye on it. We could be looking at this as a ending diagonal structure, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, overlap 4, and then down into 5, and so forth. If this is the case, then we may end up in a truncated fifth wave movement where we don't quite finish at the expected 18 to 20 cent target range. But we'll see how that kind of plays out. But for now, yeah, that's kind of where that's kind of looking. I think ultimately we should be thinking there's going to be some volatile movements on ADA. We might see a small push upwards, but ultimately I think we've got to go down. Once we complete that move into the new low, we'll get a nice significant rally to the upside, in my opinion. Things are nice and healthy and oversold, so we are just looking for that last little push to the downside so that we can then start to really talk about a bigger move upwards. Now that may have already started, but for the most part it doesn't look like that's the case just yet, and we'll see and review things after the weekend in the sense of what's going on with Celsius and all that kind of stuff. But I think for now we'll leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe, and if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, check it out. Link is in the description below.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to risk your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.